Good morning and welcome. I'm Henry Collins, a member of the board at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Reston. Whether you are on Zoom or here in the church sanctuary, we are so glad you are with us this morning. No matter how old or how young you are, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, however you identify, or whomever you love, know you are welcome here. Reverend Aileen is on vacation/study leave this week. Sounds rather suspicious. And we are blessed in a bittersweet manner to have one of our members, Cara Fortner, as our service leader in her last service at UU Reston before she leaves to start her ministerial internship at the UU congregation in Fairfax. Thank you for leading this service today, Cora. Cara. Music director Cynthia Young is also off today, but she did plan the music for today's service. We are pleased to have Heather Cruz, a member of the church choir, who has graciously agreed to serve as our hymn leader for today's service. Thank you, Heather. Welcome back again to our guest pianist, Alan Naylor, who was also here last week. Yes. Thank you for being with us again. And of course, we have Doug Sedgwick here this morning, right? Our own Doug. I have just a few announcements, as is our wont, to share with you this morning. As a reminder, a memorial service for Paul Baumgartner will be held here at UUCR on next Saturday at 1 p.m. All are welcome to join the family in remembering and celebrating Paul's life. Please join us after the service for Science Sunday to learn about health care around the world, which will be facilitated by Dr. Paul Grundy, who has spent 4 decades focused on population health in a way that is built on a platform of healing relationship of trust in primary care. Science Sunday will begin here in the sanctuary 15 minutes after the end of the service. UUCR will be publishing a new member and friend picture directory at the end of July. If any of your information has changed, or if you'd like an updated picture in the directory, please contact Kathy Deligianis. Also, if you're not currently listed in the directory but would like to be included as a friend of UUCR, please contact Kathy as well. She will be available after the service on the next few Sundays to take pictures for the directory if you would like an updated one. And we suggest using your own photo, a photo of you. The next issue of the UUCR Connection, our e-blast newsletter, is scheduled for 18 July. If you have any news that you wish to be shared in that edition, please send it to the UUCR office manager on or before 16 July. And finally, one last announcement, really. And I think Kathy has something to do with this, and has to do with Cara, actually. So please, Kathy, come on up here.
As Henry said, it's kind of bittersweet. On behalf of membership and the congregation, I wanted to recognize our soon-to-be leaving us member Cara Fortner. In almost 12 years here at the church, she has served in a variety of roles. She was on the board, she headed stewardship, she was on the membership committee, she worked with religious ed, music, probably several others that I can't even remember. Strategic planning, yes. I knew I forgot something. Sang in the choir. Can't remember everything else she's done. So we do have a little gift for her from the Caring Crafters. And I also wanted to acknowledge Jesse Fortner, who, worked a lot behind the scenes, facilities, internet, getting us good deals on software as a nonprofit church, and also served on the board for 3 years during COVID. So we were, and the search committee for our interim ministers. You've both done so much, and we are going to terribly miss you. But we wish you all the best going forward. So we do have a little gift for you, Cara. Maker and crafters. Thank you, Cara. Thank you.
Excellent. Now that we've thrown off your concentration just a little bit there. Well, now let us, including Cara, center ourselves for worship. Please take some deep, quieting breaths with me. And let us enter our time of worship together as we enjoy this morning's prelude.
Good morning. I am Cara Fortner, and I'm very grateful to be standing in this podium one last time, at least until next year, where I hope you all will come to my ordination. My ordination, yes, thank you, Doug, next year. So today's service is brought to you from our annual auction. I auctioned off a sermon and Mark Shepard purchased it. So after a couple of discussions with Mark, it came clear what was on his mind, what he was thinking about, and how we might be able to turn it into a service. And the words that really kind of came about were change. Change comes and it doesn't stop coming. And things are impermanent, and the flow of time is ceaseless. And this is a difficult thing to manage, and we have a lot that we can work within to deal with this spiritual struggle of change. And our opening words this morning are not words really at all. It is a video. So AV team, when you're ready, let's play it.
Tibetan medicine and healing has always been crucial to the Buddhist path. So creating a medicine mandala is one way of healing the community, but also healing the environment. The word mandala is actually a Sanskrit term meaning container of essence. It is that sacred circle embodying some sacred essence within. Originally, they would have used powdered stones, powdered gems, things like lapis, malachite, and so on. Today, they use crushed marble made into sand. Now, the colours are very important because they symbolise different attributes of the deities. But in this particular one that we have here, it is all about the medicine Buddha and healing. And what they create is a heavenly palace all around him. Most of the monks have been in monasteries since the age of about 7. They would have learnt the actual art of painting a mandala in the first instance, but to actually make sand mandala takes about 5 years to train, because it's a very precise art, tapping the sand out of these copper funnels into these intricate geometric designs. The prayers that the monks perform are to do with invoking the presence of the medicine Buddha and inviting the healing power to enter the center of the mandala. And then throughout, when they're actually performing, creating the mandala, they are meditating on that same thought. And for those people who are watching, every grain of sand will give one a blessing. This form of Buddhism is about developing your mind's potential, or a way of transforming the mind. So the person who is using this in meditation would imagine themselves as the medicine Buddha in the center, and they would try and break down the barriers of their normal deluded life into the pure enlightened mind of the Buddha. A very important Buddhist belief is the impermanence. They don't believe that death is the end. It's just a passing phase. It's our essence that carries on, but also that you shouldn't be attached to anything. So the idea of the destruction of the sand mandala is really putting it to bed, if you like. We return to the elements, so too is the sand mandala return to the elements.
Good morning. Our opening hymn is number 183, The Wind of Change Forever Blown. You will find it in the gray hymnal, your order of service, or in your Zoom chat box. Please rise in body or spirit.
To Today's chalice lighting words are from Jennifer Grayson. We come together every week, bound not by a creed or a mutual desire to please one God or many gods. We are drawn together by a belief that we are now in the world who are together. Who we are in the world, who we are together matters. We light this chalice together in the knowledge that love, not fear, can change the world.
Here at UUCR, we have a beloved tradition of singing our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this church. If you are visiting us for the first time this morning, please accept this as our blessing to you.
Now is the time of our service where we ask those young of heart and body to come forward, or time for all ages. If you're feeling it, come on up here, kiddos. I'm going to move this over to you. Come, come, children. Good. Thank you, kiddos. Come sit. Come, get comfortable. I have a question for you. Have you ever seen the movie Frozen 2? You have? Good. I'm really glad that you've had it, because today I'm going to, Mr. Allen and I are going to sing a song from it. It is a Disney movie, and you know what? Did you see also Frozen 1? Yeah. Frozen, not Frozen 1. I'm sorry. Yes, not Frozen 1. All of the Frozen movies. They're pretty good. You know what? They have. I know, it's so cool, right? Yeah. Marshmallow, yes, he was really fun. Do you know, in the first movie, they had this song called Love is an Open Door, and that was kind of a lie, wasn't it? Yeah. It was a trick. And you know what? Those writers, they pulled out that same trick in the second movie. Do you know what song I'm talking about?
Some things never change.
Ah, she got it. Some things never change. She's cheated because she lives with me. I've been singing it nonstop in preparation to sing to you all. If you know this song at all. Oh, that is awesome.
I have an Anna dress.
Awesome. Elsa and Anna are great. And sometimes they get... Sometimes... Oh, yes, that sounds good, Laurel. All right, girls. So Anna and Elsa, just like you and I, get a little confused sometimes, and they hope for things that maybe aren't real. And this is that song. So let's listen up. We got our listening ears on?
Yes.
Show me. Thank you, Vivian. Those are great. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, wait.
As clouds are moving on with every autumn breeze. Peter Pumpkin just became fertilizer. That's why I rely on certain certainties. Yeah, some things never change, like the feel of your hand in mine. Some things stay the same, like how we get along just fine, like an old stone wall that'll never fall. Some things are always true. Some things never change, like how I'm holding on tight to you.
Feels like the future is calling. Are you telling me tonight that you're gonna get down on one knee? Yeah, but I'm really bad at planning these things out, like candlelight and pulling of rings out. Maybe you should leave the romantic stuff to me. Some things never change, like the love that I feel for her. Some things stay the same, like how reindeers are easier. But if I commit and I go for it, I know what to say and do. Some things never change. Sven, the pressure is all on you.
The winds are restless. Could that be why I'm hearing this call? Is something coming? I'm not sure I want things to change at all. These days are precious, can't let them slip away. I can't change this moment, but I can still go out and seize this day. Count our blessings beneath the summer sky. We're always here in the kingdom of plenty that stands for the good and the many. And I promise you the flag of Arendelle will always fly. Our flag will always fly. Some things never change. Look around and the time has flown. Some things stay the same, though the future remains unknown.
May our good luck last.
May our past be past. Time's moving fast, it's true. Some things never change, and I'm holding on tight to you. To you. If only we could hold on tight forever. But that is it, kiddos, and now you get the wonderful privilege of going downstairs and having summer RE time. All right, let's sing our kids downstairs so that they can go have some fun. Go with joy, may your way be peace. Joy be yours through all your days. Live and learn to serve the world and dance on your way. Go with joy, may your way be peace. Joy yours through all your days. Live and learn This is the time of our service where we cultivate, express, and come together for our joys and concerns. We each have them in our lives, and we do this time in this service to know that we don't have to carry anything alone. If you are online, I invite you to light a candle at home if you have one nearby, and if you are in the sanctuary, please come forward and you can take a stone and put it into the bowl. Today also, we are marked with a difficulty new from yesterday. For those who are looking at me puzzled, there was a shooting yesterday at a rally in Pennsylvania, and Donald Trump was shot on his ear. There is not a whole lot of information out right now, but this is a sad and time to be an American, and it has been for a while. And gun violence and murder is never a goal. So this is complicated and tough and sad. And we light this special candle today in light of this complicated grief that we feel. Thank you, David. Now, with your own joys, sorrows, griefs, concerns, and celebrations, please come forward. of life and love, God we know by many names, some by no name at all. Thank you for being with us now, as you are always available to us to interact with, to move us into that movement towards a more loving existence. Let us hold now each other's pains and joys, as we know each one of us comes with our own stories, with our own needs, wants, expectations, disappointments. Let us know we are not alone. We have each other, and that is what makes us strong, capable. May we each know that we are loved and capable of loving. In a time of constant change, may we know that we are always able to interact with this movement towards love. And may we choose it with open arms and an open heart. For this, in the name of all things good and holy, we pray. Amen.
Today is the second Sunday of the month, and on those second Sundays, we dedicate our offering to an organization chosen by the Social Justice and Action Committee. All of today's offering, therefore, except for pledge payments, which should be clearly marked, will go to the DC Abortion Fund. The DC Abortion Fund makes grants to pregnant people in the DC area, as well as those traveling to the area who cannot afford the full cost of an abortion. They support pregnant people from all states who want to obtain lawful abortion care in the DC area. There are 0 eligibility requirements, and 0 callers have been turned away to date. They have one purpose: expand abortion access to those who need it. You may make your donation at the link in the chat and on your order of service by entering your donation into the Charity of the Month donation box in the online form. You can also write a check to UUCR with DC Abortion Fund in the memo line and put it in the offering basket or mail it to the church. And of course, you may put cash in the offering basket. Thank you for your generous support of this important community resource.
Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I never caught a glimpse of how the others must see the faker. Much too fast, take that test. Turn and face the strange changes. Don't want to be richer man. Turn and face the strange changes. Just gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Ooh, yeah. watch the ripples change their size, but never leave the stream of warm impermanence. And so the days flow through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their world are immune to your consultation. They're quite aware what they're going through. Time and face the strange changes. Don't tell them to grow up and out of that. Time and face the strange changes. Where's your shame? You've left us up to our necks in it. Time may change me, but you can't trace time. Strange fascinations fascinating me. Our changes are taking the pace I'm going through. Time and face the strange changes. Ooh, look out, rock and rollers. Time and face the strange changes. Pretty soon now you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but you can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but you can't trace time. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. David Bowie is the ultimate, so yeah. Thank you, thank you. I will start this sermon as I start every sermon I am privileged to give, and that is with gratitude. Gratitude for every single one of you, for being here this morning, for showing up, for having your listening ears on, and making this a part of your regular experience. Church is not something everyone participates in anymore, so I appreciate that we are all here and doing our best to try to make this world in which we live a better one. As I said in our opening words, this was created from an auction item, and Mark Shepard purchased it. After some conversations, we whittled it down to Impermanence. He sent me a link to a YouTube video by a band called The Midnight and a song called We Move Forward. And I listened to this song many times, and I can see how it was moving to Mark, and I want you all to experience this as well. The band's motto is Mono no Aware, which is a Japanese phrase that loosely translates to a sense of nostalgic wistfulness and an awareness that nothing lasts forever. Donald Ritchie, an American who wrote extensively on Japan, stated that the term is a near Buddhistic insistence upon recognition of the eternal flux of life upon this earth. So AV team, if you will, please play this part of the song.
We can't go back, we move forward, 'cause we can't go back.
just a clip, but enough to give a sense, right? We move forward because we can't go back. And it's a chant. They repeat it over and over again. The song is about 8-9 minutes long, and that comes back over and over again. And chanting is something done in many different religious traditions as a spiritual practice. It helps in so many ways. It might be a mantra you repeat over and over again to convince yourself that whatever it is that you're trying to say. I would do this often when potty training. It's used, our pagan friends know it well. They use it in their religious traditions all the time, chanting. Chanting is a powerful tool to bring us into a space that we might be able to handle whatever it is that we're struggling with. And so I ask that we hold these words in our hearts tenderly as we move through this sermon together, because those years start coming and they don't stop coming. The passage of time is not easy, and the oldest among us here are the most aware of that. Some things never change is a lie. Anna and Elsa had it wrong. One certainty in life is that things will change. This is really rooted in the fact that we are mortal. Death is sure for all of us. The temporariness of life is why we have religions in the first place. They are a response to the struggle of knowing nothing is permanent, a response to people's need to grieve when we lose the people we love. They are a response to our need to cope with the knowledge that we will one day pass. Many of the earliest recorded traditions took the form of ancestor worship, those who came before, who because of them we are here now. While other traditions took on the charge of trying to answer what happens to us after death, and others deal more with the struggle of surviving while those we love pass. That's more like us, and we have this in common with our Jewish brothers, sisters, and siblings who are called to be in covenant, in relationship with God. And there's the prophet Micah from the book of prophets. Prophet Micah is most famously one of the most famous prophets, and his most famous saying is this: "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." O mortal, he calls us, reminding us of our limitedness. And what does the Lord require? All things we can do right here and right now. And this is where we live, right here and right now. We have no answers, claim no answers about life or after death, anything like that. We don't claim these answers, but what we do know is that we want to live well, in line with a movement towards a more loving existence. And loss of life is not the only change with which we must cope. Often, when we get used to something, it changes. I mentioned the potty training earlier, but children are a wonderful example of as soon as you get used to something, the kid grows just a little bit and you got everything that you were doing, you throw it out and change it. We lose many things through change. We can lose our perspectives. We change our minds. We learn, thank goodness. And in this tradition, we yearn to learn. It is sacred, necessary change. We may lose our health. We may lose our way of life. Maybe we lose a job or a partner or our material wealth. We grieve and we mourn our losses, and the grief can be very complicated. And the struggles within ourselves are very real, and we carry them with us into our everyday interactions. Every single one of us does. A lot of change is hard, but some of it is really exciting and good. And always, change is constant. It will come whether we want it to or not. We move forward because we can't go back. We move forward because we have to. What we have in control in life is very little, and it is a spiritual practice of letting go that today's service is really all about. That paired with presence. We need both. And that was shown by the Tibetan monks at the beginning of the service in the opening words. It was through the power of imagination, meditation, and unattachment. That destruction of the sand mandala is a recognition and an ownership over the process of change, a surrendering to the fact that even these monks who spend so much time, 5 years, to perfect their ability to make these sand mandalas, they take so much time to perfect their skills, but they're not tied to the outcome. The goal is the process. I remember learning about these monks for the first time and being astonished at the destruction over what they had just spent so much time and cultivated so many years to create, this beautiful art that they created, and then they just sweep it away. And that, though, is the most powerful point of the sand mandala. We wouldn't have, there were about 1 million YouTube videos about these things, and they wouldn't be there if they didn't sweep it away, because that is the most profound aspect of that practice, is sweeping away the sand. It is not the outcome, it is the process. They cultivated presence through meditation, prayer, and art, and through knowing they would wipe it all away at the end. Another element from today's service is also Buddhist. It comes from the hymn, "The Winds of Change Forever Blown." Words by the first female president of the Indian National Congress, paired with a tune from Johann Sebastian Bach, a German whose tunes have gone hand in hand with some Christian hymns for a really long time. It feels strange to sing the words, "Great Buddha of the Lotus Throne," to a hymn that you might maybe be used to hearing something about Heavenly Father. But this is what our beautiful tradition here does. We seek ways to incorporate pluralism, to have pluralism expressed. And as we move forward, we will find more graceful ways to express this pluralism. So I love that awkward juxtaposition of, Buddha and the Lotus Throne and the German Bach sound, because it makes us stop and think and say, well, there's something different here. But my favorite line from that hymn is, "Naught shall conquer or control the heavenward hunger of our soul." Heavenward hunger. What did I say before? We have no answers, except we know we want to live well, in line with a movement towards a more loving existence. That's a heavenward hunger. Now, heaven is a word that maybe we don't all sit pretty with. Maybe we have different ideas about what heaven is. We were taught certain things about what heaven is. But in our tradition here now, we see heaven as a place that we are called to create on earth. A place that is good, equitable, where people don't have their backs up against a wall by those who are oppressing them. This is our greatest hope. It's a vision for a future, a better way of living. and it's what keeps me coming to church, that heavenward hunger, even as the winds of change forever blow. So we don't have control over the ceaseless flow of time, and nothing will conquer that heavenward hunger. Both are ceaseless, and that's the good news. We move forward because we can't go back. This is something I feel strongly right now personally as I'm going through some rather large changes, this being my last day here at Reston and moving into a ministerial position. This church has gone through its own changes. I've been here for 12 years, and since I've been here, we've had 5 different ministers. Change can be hard. All ministers have had their unique, special ministries that they brought to this place and had an impact on all of us here. And just last month, our Unitarian Universalist Association voted to accept the changes to Article 2. And we move away from words of principles and into values and covenants. And this is hard too. Change is hard. But we move forward. It's baked into our tradition, this love and cultivation of progress. But we can look back. In fact, we should look back and learn from what we've done in the past. And when we do look back, maybe we'll feel a range of emotions on our own church or in our own tradition or in our own personal lives. On a grand scale, who we are as Americans, where we're going. We might feel regret, anguish, anger, betrayal. And we mourn what we don't have anymore or who we don't have anymore. Looking back, knowing we cannot go back, knowing we cannot change what has been, forces us into a space where if we don't let go, we cannot move forward well. We cannot move forward with grace and ease. But we do still have to move forward. To move forward with ease, we must release and surrender. The Reverend Howard Thurman believed passionately in the power of what he called the creative encounter, practice of going inward and meeting God, or the holy, or the movement towards love, surrendering to that holy experience and coming away transformed. Little by little, more formed in hope that we may live a more loved and loving life. Okay, I hear you. You're thinking, we're all going to die. We can't go back to the things we miss, and we should all just let it go? Yes and no. Our grief is tender. It needs our care. And I don't mean to suggest that we let our love and the way things used to be, or our love for the people we no longer have, to be forgotten. In fact, a major purpose of religion is to tend to these pains we carry with us from our stories. All traditions have some sort of way to manage these griefs. I had an incredible opportunity this year to go visit Japan in May. I was selected as a candidate for fellowship to go to the Grand Tsubaki Shrine as part of a 30-plus year relationship between Shinto and Unitarian Universalism. I learned a lot while I was there, but in the essence of time, I'm just going to share a little bit. An essential aspect of Shinto, and I want to mark here that Shinto is different than Buddhism, and there's been a lot of Buddhism in this service today, so please put it in your heads, they're different. They come together a lot in Japan, but they are different practices. But an essential aspect of Shinto is the belief that all people at our truest selves are good. There's a Japanese saying, in their heart of hearts, no one is really evil. And They believe that things happen to us through our lives. We witness things, we hear things, we see things, experience things that have negative impacts on us, and it like attaches to us. They call them impurities, and they affect us. The way the Shinto priests handle tending to these impurities is through deeply embodied ritual, with worship elements like washing and chanting and drumming. They have these amazing drums. And swishing. They have a dowel with rice paper lightning rods that they swish to help get rid of your impurities. They have dancing, and this is all day, throughout the day. And they have bells. And they swish it over their people like that who come to them. And it's meant to be not a blessing, how we might think of it, but a washing away of those impurities that we each carry with us. This was a gift to me by Ochiai, who was one of the senior priests at the shrine. He knew I was really intrigued by all of the worship elements, and this I hold very tender. There is one Norito I will share with you. Norito is a prayer. Restore me to my original brightness, and grant me strength that I may overcome life's difficulties and live in harmony with the divine way of great nature. Life is full of pains and difficulties, and it is with spiritual fortitude that we may be able to move forward with grace. Because, we move forward, but we can't go back. Life is incredible. The fact that we are all each here is a miracle. We are each special and unique, creative beings, and we need each other. May we remember to surrender to that which we cannot control, to act justly, love mercy, and to walk humbly right here and right now. May we know we are good, whole beings capable of moving forward together, holding on tight to each other and turning and facing that strange. We are called by that heavenward hunger, or however we may prefer to call it, to cultivate a way of living that is good, that tends to our longings and our aches. Life is what we make it to be within the parameters of the ever-changing tides. We don't have control over the ceaseless flow of time, and nothing will conquer or control the heavenward hunger of our soul. We move forward because we can't go back. Amen.
Our closing hymn is number 6, Just As Long As I Have Breath, which you can find in the gray hymnal, your order of service, or your Zoom chat box. Please join me in singing by rising in body or spirit.
Still with
Thank you. And I also invite you to join hands with one another. If you prefer not to, hold yourself and we will know that you are still with us. Yay! Repeat these words after me. From you I receive. From you I receive. To you I give. To you I give. Together we share. Together we share. And from this we live. And from this we live. Yes, friends, let us say yes to life. May we say yes to the changes that come our way. Let us say yes by truly seeing each other and sharing generously. Let us say yes to that heavenward hunger. Yes. 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 Amen, y'all, and blessed be.
Today's chalice extinguishing words come from Brian Keeley. The chalice is now extinguished, but its light lives on in the minds and hearts and souls of each one of you. Carry that flame with you as you leave this place and share it with those you know, with those you love, and most especially with those you have yet to meet.
Thank you, Cara, for that wonderful service. And we have one more gift to you as you make your change.
Thank you, thank you.
And also there's a card going around, so everybody sign it before she leaves. Have a lovely day, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you all.